overflow to suddenly, oh yeah, I got recorded. Oh yeah, CJ reminded me that I should have on closed captions. So here they are. And hopefully it'll keep it in the recording as well. All right, so again, what I'm going to do here, just for the sake of demonstrating this, because honestly, I think we'll have plenty of time to get stuff done today. I'm just going to pull up the node editor. And again, we've done this. We actually have it here for this twist, right? And I have this plus minus average, but this is for the offset, right? The result is going directly into this twist, but the result I feel like isn't quite enough. So I'm going to add a multiply divide node. I've literally never done this before. I'm going to add a multiply divide node similar to what we did before, right? And I'm going to input this into my multiply divide node. It doesn't matter which of these you put it into as long as the output equals the input. So I'm going to output X as well into the twist. And I'm going to go to my multiply divide node here. And where it's currently multiplied by 1, so it's an equal in and out. I'm just going to close the node editor. I don't need it there anymore. Right? If I do this, it's currently moving exactly like it did before. Right? I go to this and I do it by like 1.5. It'll have a larger effect on the twist. So I'll have a little bit more quick of a response. I always felt like the knee pull vector, Oh, oops. Wow, here I am recording and totally forgetting to screen share. Jeez. Sorry. All right, so just to go over that real quick again, node editor, I hit tab, I created a multiply divide node. I put my output to my input 1x. I put the output x of that to my twist, and I simply multiplied it by 1.5 instead of 1, which gives me a little bit more of a response on that. If I wanted to do even more than that, I could do, I'll just do 3. I'll do twice as much. So you'll see it even more so, right? So I'm not moving my mouse nearly as far, and it's going a lot farther. It doesn't change how it moves. It changes how fast it moves, right? So technically, if I really wanted to, I could make an attribute on my controller called response or responsiveness or something like that, and have that attribute control the multiply divide node. It'll be default of 1 with a minimum of 1, so it can't slow down, or a minimum of 0.5 or something like that. If I set it to 0, you know, if I had it at 0, it would go, it wouldn't work at all, right? Right? You know, if I set it to -3, it'll go opposite the way I want it to go, right? So if I go negative, it's going to go positive. If it go positive, it's going to go negative, right? So I don't want to do that, but you know, I could set that type of control up if I wanted to, right? So anyway, I just wanted to show you that, hey, you know, once you have the knowledge, you can play with it. Know what I mean? Like when I go to the right, I feel like that's a positive movement, but I feel like positive should go out. So maybe I do want this to be -3 instead of 3, right? So that when I move to the left, it goes to his right, goes internal. When I move to the right, it goes to his external, right? That might be a functionality switch that I might want to change, right? So anyway, just saying, like, again, once you have the knowledge of this stuff, you can just use it, set it up, make it do what you want. All right, so that's the neat. Now, at this point, we've locked and hidden our offset. Please don't forget to do that. And we need to set up these other attributes to work, because right now they don't do anything, right? I'm going to close my node editor. Now, this is the, we're going to use the connection editor for this. So I'm going to go to Windows, General Editors, Connection Editor. And again, with this foot control selected, it's going to show me all of this, right? And all my attributes that I've created are down at the bottom. Now you can actually have it show I can turn off show non-keyable. I can show, I don't know, published only. That's not really going to do anything for me. If I did show, no, that's not what I want. Inputs. If I did show inputs only, it'll give me all of these attributes right here, right? So you can actually, you don't have to, like if you want to show all of them, you can, but you know, here's all of my attributes, translate, rotate, scale, and the ones that I created that are keyable, right? Okay, that way I don't have to go sift through all of the headers and the you know, all the displayable types, right? Now, so I'm gonna open up my IK left group, and I'm gonna open up all my groups here so I have access to those, because again, what we're gonna be controlling here is, you know, these rotatable attributes like that. Most of them are going to be on rotate X, right? If you notice, that was what I was selecting every time, right? But the pivots will not be. So, so what I'm going to do, I have my foot control with those keyable attributes. And then I need to go through, and I'm just going to select all of my groups, not the IKs themselves. I'm going to select all my groups, and I'm going to reload right. And on the right display, I'm going to do the same thing. Show readable, and I'm going to actually I'm going to show not show non-keyable, and I'm going to do I want outputs only. I'll do inputs only. Show inputs only. Now, what I want to do is I want my, why can I not select these? There we go. I don't know why that wasn't selectable. Maybe I need to just show readable instead. So what I want to do is I want to have my roles control the X rotation. I want to show my pivots to control the Y rotation. And the flop is also going to do X rotation, right? Okay. So on my toe roll, is going to control the toe group, rotate X. So I highlight toe roll. Really? It's not highlighting. I don't know why. All right. I'll just show inputs. Okay. Toe roll, rotate X, heel roll. Make sure you're choosing the right one. Okay. The heel, rotate X. Ball roll will be the ball group, rotate X. Right? Makes sense. Each one goes to its own rotate X. Toe pivot is going to be toe group, rotate Y. Heel pivot, heel groups, rotate Y. Ball pivot, ball group, rotate Y. Toe flop is the toe flop group. Oops. Rotate X. Right? So once I connect all of that, then I should quickly and easily see toe roll, heel roll, ball roll, toe pivot, heel pivot, ball pivot, and toe flop. So really the only connection that I don't like is the heel roll. I feel like going to the right should lift the heel up. So again, if I wanted to, I could go into the node editor and do a -1 on that. Right? If I have this selected, not that, this. If I have this selected and I remap it, I have to go in and find it now. I have my heel roll is what I'm trying to find. So here's my heel roll, and that's going to go down to my heel group. So if I open that up, and that's going to do rotate X, right? If I move this over, you can see that. Heel roll to rotate X. If I wanted to invert that, tab, multiply divide node. Open that up. And again, I haven't done this before. I'm just showing you how you can do that if you don't like the type of control that you have. Input 1X, make sure you're pulling from the output. Input 1X can also be passed to something else. You have to have it go through the output, the multiply process. That would simply be a pass-through, right? That would not actually do the multiplication. So make sure you're using output X to your rotate X, right? So I could do that and then change my value to -1 instead of +1. And if I do that, again, it's simply doing what we've done in the past with the fish twist. I do a positive, it rolls up instead of rolling down, right? Positive roll lifts the foot. Okay. So do you think it's cool, or are you like, God, this is too much? I don't know what your thing was about. Do you think it's neat, or okay? All right. I agree. I agree. It's very cool. Now, again, I've already set this up for the most part. That took just a few minutes to do, so I'm just going to go ahead and do the other foot. Pull up my connection editor. I have my attributes done. I think my knee is not set up. I'll set that up afterwards because this is faster. So I'll select my right IK groups. Click, 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 reload right. Toe roll to toe roll, rotate X. Heel roll to heel, R group, rotate X, ball roll to ball R group, rotate X, pivot to the same, but it's rotate Y. So toe group, rotate Y. Heel pivot, rotate Y. Ball pivot, rotate Y. Just if this gets too confusing, do them one at a time. Only load in the group that you're working on, right? Toe flop group, rotate X, right? I haven't done the knee yet, but that's okay. I'll come back to that. I'm just going to test these attributes. Toe roll works. Heel roll, we haven't done it opposite yet, but it works. Ball roll works. Toe pivot works. Heel pivot works. Ball pivot works. Toe flop works. I'm just going to do that inverse so that they work exactly the same. Select that control, map it out. There's the foot control. And it was the heel roll, which is right there, going to the heel group. And that was rotate X, multiply, divide. Here's my heel roll. Input 1X, output to rotate X right there. Set it to -1. Heel roll now works positive to lift instead of that. The knee pull vector was for the twist on the IK handle, right? So I'm going to select the IK handle, reload right. There's the twist. Pull vector, it was, if I remember correctly, I had the, leg IK and input output. I did it through the, yeah. What up, Kevin? Thank you. Were you raising your hand because I wasn't sharing my screen? Kevin?
Just click lower to keep it going. If I would ask.
Kevin?
He might be in the bathroom. Just
Kevin? Kevin? All right. I'm lowering Kevin's hand. Wherever the hand is, I don't know. Okay, so what do you need?
What's
What do you need to say?
I can't find how you lower hands.
Go to the little, you said people with the little 11 on it?
The what?
People with the little 11 on it? The people with the 11 on it? You see it?
11?
On the down.
Right next to the messages.
Yeah, that's where I was.
And you put it down now. He's just trying.
Oh, he said,
Wow, seriously?
he want to let you know that Rodney was looking at him too. Looking at him funny. So he was requesting.
Okay, so you raised your hand and stopped me midstream so that you could tell me you need a bazooka? Okay. So, that was a good waste of time. Knee, the knee, that's what I'm working on. Okay, so I have the foot control and the IK handle selected. I do my input and outputs. And what I had for this was my foot control. Need to bring it down here. My knee PV and knee offset, right? And this is going to go into an add called plus minus average. Plus minus average, just like we did before. Input 1D1, take one of them. It really doesn't matter which one because you're just adding two numbers together. A plus B equals C, B plus A equals C. Same thing. 1D0 and the offset into 1D1 and put the output into the IK twist, which is on the IK handle, which is right down here. So I pull this up. There's my twist attribute. There's my output 1D. Connect that there. And again, if you notice a shift, you can set your offset to invert the shift, but it works. On my previous one, I had a multiply divide, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I had this be a -3. So I'm going to take my output 1D to 1X, take my output from that, do the twist, and then either in the channel box, because it's right there, there's my input 2X, right? Or here, I can just type that in and it works. Right? If you need the offset, that should be set permanently, and then you right-click, lock and hide selected. All right, so please don't forget to lock and hide your offset controls. So now they both work as a general movement control as well as the rolls and flops. And all that stuff. Everything works. The last thing we need to do, and I'm going to go ahead and, because this is a little bit more involved, what we need to do is we need to have our controls, our foot controls, have the option of following our character like that, or not following our character. It's called the feet move with world attribute. Okay, so I'm gonna set this save as version 21. And I'm just gonna go ahead and let y'all go to break.
So apparently,
I see it. It's okay. I knew that was the case. All right, stopping recording.